Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into some pretty cool AI research.
Yeah,
It might just change the way we think about robots and automation.
it could.
So imagine this.
Yeah.
You train a robot once, and it can adapt to a whole bunch of different tasks.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Right.
Well, it might be closer than we think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to break it all down,
Okay.
we're diving into a research paper
Okay.
called Model-Based Transfer Learning for Contextual Reinforcement Learning.
Catchy title.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we're here to help you understand it.
That's right.
And really kind of extract the coolest parts.
Yeah, the most interesting takeaways.
Exactly. So get ready for some aha moments as we explore how AI can learn to generalize like never before.
It's a really fascinating paper.
Yeah, so where do we even begin with this?
Well, it all starts with a problem that's been bugging AI for a while now.
Okay.
Brittleness.
Brittleness, okay.
So you can train a deep reinforcement learning model to be amazing at one specific task. But even small changes to the environment can make the whole thing just fall apart.
So it's like training a self-driving car in sunny California
Exactly.
and then expecting it to handle a snowstorm in New York City.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Not ideal.
No.
So researchers have been trying to figure out how to make AI more adaptable,
Right.
more able to handle those real-world, curveball.
Like that snowstorm.
Exactly.
So one approach is to train a separate AI for every single possible scenario.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of work.
It is
Not very efficient.
incredibly resource intensive.
Yeah.
Like imagine the computing power and the time involved in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Another option is to train one super AI that can handle everything.
Okay.
But often that leads to conflicts, and the learning process can get really inefficient.
So it's like it's trying to do too many things at once.
Yeah, it gets confused.
Yeah.
Spread too thin. So we need a smarter approach.
Okay, something that can teach AI to generalize
Right.
without needing a supercomputer
Exactly.
and years of training.
And that's where this paper comes in.
Okay, tell me more.
They're introducing a new method called model-based transfer learning, or MBTL for short.
MBTL, okay, I'm intrigued.
It's a mouthful, I know.
Yeah.
But it's a really elegant concept.
Okay.
So how does MBTL actually work? What's the secret sauce? Well, instead of training on every imaginable scenario, MBTL strategically picks and chooses which scenarios to focus on.
So it's being picky.
It is.
Okay.
It's like a personal trainer for your AI,
I like that.
picking out the most effective exercises to maximize learning.
Okay, so it's not just randomly throwing scenarios at the AI and hoping something sticks.
Exactly.
It's actually analyzing like its strengths and weaknesses
right.
and using that information to guide the training process.
You got it.
Wow, okay, that's impressive.
It's pretty cool. And one of the key ingredients here is something called a Gaussian process.
A Gaussian process.
Yeah.
I'm guessing most people, myself included, aren't really familiar with that term.
Yeah, it's not exactly everyday conversation.
No.
So imagine you're trying to predict how well your AI will do on a task based on what it's learned so far.
Okay.
A Gaussian process helps you do that by creating a sort of map of the AI's performance across different scenarios.
Okay.
It's like having a probability cloud showing you where the AI is likely to succeed and where it might struggle.
Oh, I see. So it's like it's giving you a visual representation of the AI's capabilities
Exactly.
across all these different situations.
You got it. And to make it even more efficient,
Okay.
MBTL uses an algorithm called Bayesian optimization.
Bayesian optimization. Okay.
This algorithm takes all the information from the Gaussian process
Mm-hmm.
and figures out which scenarios are the most likely to give the AI the biggest boost in learning.
Oh, so it's like it's constantly refining the training process
Exactly.
based on what it's learning about the AI.
It's all about maximizing efficiency.
Okay, that's starting to sound really impressive.
Right.
But all this theory is great, but does it actually work in practice?
That's the exciting part.
Okay.
The researchers put MBTL through its paces, testing it on a range of simulated tasks,
Okay.
and the results were remarkable.
Okay, I have to know.
All right, sir.
What kind of tasks did they test it on?
Well, one of the tasks was traffic signal control.
Okay, traffic signal control.
Yeah, so they wanted to see if MBTL could optimize traffic flow across different intersections, taking into account things like traffic volume, speed limits, the number of lanes.
Okay, that sounds like a real-world problem we could all benefit from solving.
Absolutely.
Rush hour, anyone.
Exactly.
Okay, what else? What other tasks did they try?
Well, they also used MBTL for something called eco-driving.
Eco-driving.
Where the AI learns to drive in a way that saves fuel.
Oh, so not only smoother commutes,
Right.
but also good for the environment.
Exactly. Less emissions.
I like it.
Yeah, so it's a win-win.
Okay, so they tested it on all these different tasks, but what were the actual results? Did MBTL live up to the hype?
It did.
Okay.
Across all these tasks, MBTL consistently outperformed existing methods.
Wow.
And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
It achieved the same or even better results with significantly less training data.
Less training data.
In some cases, up to 50 times less.
50 times less. That's mind-blowing.
It's pretty incredible.
What does that mean for, like, the practical applications of this technology?
Well, it means you could develop and deploy AI systems much faster and using a fraction of the computing power.
That's huge.
Huge win for efficiency and sustainability.
Absolutely. Okay.
It's really exciting stuff.
I'm starting to see why you're so excited about this research.
It has so much potential.
It really sounds like it has the potential to make AI more practical and accessible.
Yeah, for a wider range of applications.
For all sorts of applications.
Exactly.
I mean, this is pretty groundbreaking stuff.
It is.
So before we go any further, I think it's important to take a step back.
Okay.
And kind of appreciate how this research could actually change the way we think about AI.
Yeah, that's important.
Go on.
I mean, we often think of AI as being very specialized, good at one specific thing.
Right.
But MBTL points toward a feature where AI is much more adaptable.
Okay.
More like humans in a way.
Oh, interesting.
It's about creating AI that can learn and grow over time, becoming more versatile and capable.
It's almost like evolving.
In a way, yes.
Oh.
It's about moving beyond those narrow AI applications we see today.
That's a really compelling vision.
It is. It's exciting.
And I imagine it raises a lot of questions, too.
Of course, tons of questions.
It's about, like, how we design these systems.
Right.
And interact with, these more adaptable AI systems.
Absolutely.
And I'm guessing that's something we're going to delve into a little bit more in the next part of our deep dive.
Exactly. There's so much more to explore.
All right. Well, stay tuned, folks, because we're just getting started.
This is going to be good.
We'll be right back after a short break.
See you soon.
All right. So we've established that MBTL is doing something pretty special.
Yeah.
Achieving these impressive results with way less training data.
It's a big deal for AI development.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how did the researchers actually test this thing?
Okay, great question.
Yeah.
So remember how we talked about MBTL being tested on traffic signal control?
Right. Optimizing traffic flow and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to make sure it could handle different intersection layouts.
Which makes sense, right? I mean, every intersection out there in the real world is unique.
Exactly.
They're not all cookie cutter.
Nope. So they used a sophisticated traffic simulation platform.
Oh, wow.
To create a bunch of different scenarios.
Okay.
So think different traffic volumes, different speed limits.
Right. Different numbers of lanes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then they compared MBTL to other cutting-edge methods.
Okay. So like a head-to-head competition?
Yeah, to see how it stacked up.
What happened? Did MBTL rise to the occasion?
It did. It really did.
Right.
Not only did it consistently outperform those other methods,
Okay.
but it did so with incredible efficiency.
Okay, give me some numbers. What are we talking about here?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it achieved the same level of performance as the other methods,
Okay.
but using up to 25 times fewer training samples.
That's a big difference.
It's massive.
It's like it's learning so much faster.
Right.
And smarter.
It's really remarkable.
Yeah.
And the eco-driving experiments were equally impressive.
Okay, remind me, what was the goal of those again?
Right. So the goal there was to teach the AI to be more fuel efficient, even with all the unpredictability of traffic and road conditions.
Right, which is a pretty big challenge.
It is.
Because you never know what you're going to encounter out there on the roads.
Exactly. But you can imagine the impact this could have.
On what?
On fuel consumption.
Yeah.
Emissions?
Yeah, I mean, it's like having a hyper-efficient co-pilot.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Who's always looking for the most fuel-efficient route and driving style.
Right.
I think a lot of people would love to have that.
Absolutely. And these eco-driving experiments included a bunch of variables, too.
Like what?
So they looked at how many other cars on the road were also using an eco-driving system,
Interesting.
the overall traffic volume,
Right.
and even how long traffic lights stayed green.
Wow, so they really tried to mimic real-world conditions.
They did, as much as possible within the simulation.
Okay, so we've got traffic signal control.
Mm-hmm.
We got eco-driving.
Right.
It seems like MBTL is pretty much crushing it across the board.
It's performing really well.
Were there any scenarios where it didn't perform as well?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that no technology is perfect.
True.
One limitation the researchers pointed out
Okay.
is that MBTL, at least in its current form, is mainly designed for scenarios with a single dimension of context variation.
Okay, so break that down for me. What
Yeah.
does that actually mean?
So it's really good at handling variations within a specific area.
Okay.
But if you throw too many changes at it at once,
Like, it might get overwhelmed.
it might struggle a bit, yeah.
Got it.
That's the current limitation, yes.
Okay.
But remember, this is cutting-edge research.
Right.
They're already exploring ways to extend MBTL.
To handle what, more complex scenarios?
Exactly.
Okay, so where there are, like, multiple changes happening at the same time.
That's the goal.
Makes sense. It's like they've built this really solid foundation,
Right.
and now they're trying to figure out how to expand on it
Mm-hmm. To make it even more powerful.
to make it even better.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
And even with this limitation, the potential applications are huge.
Yeah, I mean, we've just scratched the surface here.
We have.
Remember when we mentioned advisory autonomy earlier?
Right.
That scenario where the AI is, like, giving advice to human drivers.
Real-time guidance.
Yeah, in real time.
Exactly.
So, like, imagine an AI system that's helping you be a better driver,
Mm-hmm.
suggesting ways to be more efficient, more safe.
Right.
Like,
One of the big challenges there, though,
Yeah.
is figuring out how often to give that guidance.
Right, because you don't want to overwhelm the driver,
Exactly.
make them feel like they're not in control.
Right. Too much advice can be just as bad as no advice.
Absolutely.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where the AI is helpful but not intrusive.
Okay.
And that's where MBTL can really shine.
Okay, how so?
Well, the researchers found it could help the AI system learn the optimal frequency
Okay.
for giving that guidance
Based on what?
based on things like the type of road, the
Okay.
traffic density,
Mm-hmm.
even the individual driver's behavior.
Wow. So it's really personalized.
It is, yeah.
It's learning, like, how you drive and adapting to that.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So MBTL is not just about, like, optimizing traffic flow or fuel efficiency.
Right.
It's also about improving the way humans and AI can work together.
Yeah, that's a really important point.
I mean, this conversation has been truly eye-opening,
It's fascinating stuff.
but I know there's still more to uncover.
There is.
What else did the researchers look at when testing MBTL?
Well, they didn't just focus on, like, the what of MBTL.
Okay.
They also dove into the how.
Oh, how? Okay.
So they wanted to make sure that this approach was robust
Robust. Okay.
and wasn't overly sensitive to different choices made during implementation.
So, like, tweaking the settings and seeing if it could still handle it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
Oh, all right.
Get ready for some more technical detail.
I'm ready. Let's do it. We're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into model-based transfer learning.
That's right.
You were about to tell us how the researchers made sure this approach was robust.
Yes. So they did some interesting sensitivity analyses.
Sensitivity analyses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So MBTL works by building on existing reinforcement learning algorithms.
Okay.
Think of them as the foundation,
Got it.
the basic tools for training AI.
So MBTL is like an add-on,
Yeah.
a way to boost the performance of these existing algorithms.
That's a great way to think about it.
Okay. And the researchers wanted to make sure that MBTL could work well with different types of those algorithms.
Exactly. Not just one specific type.
So they didn't want it to be a picky eater.
Yeah, exactly. They wanted it to be flexible.
Okay.
So they tested it with a few popular algorithms.
Like what?
Like deep Q networks,
Okay.
which is often shortened to DQN,
Okay. DQN.
proximal policy optimization,
Okay.
or PPO for short,
Okay.
and advantage actor critic A2C.
A2C. Got it.
So those are just 3 examples.
Okay.
But the results were encouraging.
Okay. In what way?
Well, MBTL was effective,
Right,
no
right.
matter which algorithm they used.
It's compatible.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like a big deal for developers.
It is.
I mean, it means they can plug MBTL into their existing AI systems
Right.
without having to, like, overhaul everything.
Yeah, they don't have to start from scratch.
Okay, so it speaks to its flexibility,
Exactly.
but they didn't stop there.
No, they kept going.
What else did they look at?
They also looked at how different choices within MBTL itself might affect performance.
Okay.
So remember how MBTL uses Bayesian optimization to select the best training scenarios?
Right, it's like a strategic advisor,
Yeah, exactly.
helping the AI learn as efficiently as possible.
Well, within Bayesian optimization, there are different ways to guide that process.
Okay.
So think of it as choosing between different exploration strategies.
Okay.
Like, do you